All right, welcome back. Talking ethics and asking you for your opinions. We're talking ethics in Parliament, what's been happening in Parliament lately. Are you happy with what you're seeing? What do you think needs to change? A couple of comments coming in from some viewers. We've got Yuri Trishkov saying, the citizens must elect their leaders directly and not the party. We need to re-look at the electoral system. I suppose, Yuri, you're going along the lines of an American voting system, and perhaps that's what you're saying here. Another one is basically saying, let's see, Johan Tane saying, those who are not happy with us will thank us later. Julius Malema with those hand-clapping signals that you do get, those emojis. Young and Driven writing in saying, a solution, a whole new leadership, exclamation mark. All right, well, those are just a couple of the comments that are coming through. Professor Pedro Tabensky is our guest. He's a director at Allan Gray Centre for Leadership Ethics, and he's in our Port Elizabeth studio. So there's a couple of comments coming through. Perhaps, you know, change how we vote here in South Africa. And I'm not sure that is going to happen, but where we actually choose a leader directly as opposed to, you know, a big room full of people, how it would work at an electoral committee. We as South Africans decide who we want to be president. I mean, do you think that's a better way of working? I mean, look at what's happened in America. Is that necessarily the way that we want to go?
Yeah, it's if we look around the globe, we're not seeing that democracy is flourishing just because where there's different electoral systems. I think we need to address cultures. Electoral system, we might want to change electoral rules and principles, but I think that at bottom we need to change cultures. And I don't think it's enough just to change individuals, to swap in one individual for a next. We need to change the way in which we think about politics. We need to change the way in which we organize ourselves, and we need to change the approach that people have towards their own political careers.
Couple more comments.
Yeah, there's I don't know if I can.
Let me read one or two more comments, and then you can
there's an
close
example.
up.
There's a beautiful. Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
Prof.
Sure.
Let me read this,
Sure.
and then you close off with that quote you wanted to say, because I really want to bring South Africans into this. Melvin saying the EFF must be taught manners. That's what he's saying. Chris Twala is saying, if Zuma really loves this country, he will step down. We need men and women with integrity and education to lead us. Stephen Heath saying they must go to jail for crimes against the country. Sipelele is saying the remedy ultimately lies in building a cohesive national identity. Another one, Doc Moses Villani, is saying, I totally disagree with the professor. The ruling party doesn't engage in violence despite being provoked. And then finally, just one more, atonement is needed for atrocities done during apartheid. Some are pompous while others are angry, hence the anger and the fear is misdirected. Prof, close it up for us. I'll give you 30 seconds to do that.
I like the idea of changing the spiritual nature of the people, the way in which they see the world. I mean, I think that's the main thing. I didn't say that the ruling party is violent. That's not what I said. But I do think they're deeply corrupt, and I think that's generating the anger. I'm not a very big fan of manners. I don't think manners are what we need to change. I don't think we could get the parliament to be very polite and civil, and we will continue having the same problems that we have with the country today. We need to rethink our relationship to one another, and in order to do that, we need to rethink our ethical natures, and we need to cultivate our ethical characters. And to do that, we need to have a different approach to politics.
Yeah. All right, let's
and hopefully also have a different approach to education.
Yeah, indeed.
So that the future generations don't repeat the sort of behavior that our current political representatives are engaged in.
All right, we leave it there for this morning. Thanks so much for talking to us. Professor Pedro Tabensky is the director at Allan Gray Centre for Leadership Ethics, talking about leadership ethics here on the program and things that we're seeing unfolding in Parliament. Some other tweets, I've got 30 seconds to read them before the news at 7. Edgar Sabanda saying, so this professor says it's okay for others to behave like monkeys because Zuma was found to be wrong. Not sure that's what the professor was saying, but I see where you're saying. I can see where you're taking it. Sipilele saying, what we are seeing in Parliament is nothing more than an image of our own society. And that was a problem that I did ask and pose the question, are we seeing a bad example being set in Parliament? And many others coming in. And finally, Martin Stewart, hi, I think our problem started when our government moved God more and more out of Parliament's meetings. All right. Thank you so much. Just a couple of opinions of South Africans. It's 7 o'clock here on this 15th of February. It's Wednesday. Good to have you with us. Let's